Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I haven't posted in so long. I'm so sorry for that. I hope you guys are doing really well. Thank you so much for watching. Today's video is going to be a makeup tutorial for beginners. I recommend my all-time drugstore products. This is like a two-part series. This video is for beginners for a soft glam makeup tutorial, and the next one, which I'm going to post next week, is for a full glam makeup tutorial. I do a full face of different makeup recommendations. I just want to do a video actually explaining what I do to my face. I hope you guys enjoy. This is the look I did, so if you want to see what I do to my face, keep on watching. I finally have my cat ears. I feel normal. I feel complete. I could come across as being way too obvious. You never know. I'd rather just cover all bases than just, you know, assume that everyone knows what I'm talking about. Before makeup, you always want a clean, fresh face. After that, you'd want to moisturize your face, because obviously having a smooth, hydrated base would make everything on top look so much better. What I have been using is this Nivea Urban Skin Defense. It's a day cream, so it has SPF 15 in it. You should definitely prep your lips with any lip balm, lip mask. This is just like the Lucas's Pore Ointment, which I feel like everyone has. I would prime my skin, just get it ready for your base makeup. These go hand in hand so well. This is Australis product. The primer, the original. This is a very hydrating primer, very moisturizing, makes your skin feel so good and like plump. The makeup primer spritz, so apply the cream product first and then the spray and let it dry completely, and that shows that it's working the best. I feel my skin type is mostly dry, period. I use my hands, but so you literally just put that everywhere, down the neck even, just because, you know, sometimes you bring the foundation down to your neck. The spray, you just spray it on your face everywhere. For foundation, this is my favorite drugstore daytime natural looking foundation. This is the Fit Me from Maybelline. I prefer the Dewy and Smooth over the matte and poreless, but I mix them at the moment because this is the matte and poreless I have in 220 and the Dewy and Smooth I have 225, which is a bit too dark for me, so it kind of just makes the perfect shade. So yeah, what I don't like about this, it doesn't have a pump. It just comes in a bottle and you just gotta shake it out. For application, I love a good foundation brush. This is not, I don't know if this is actually called a foundation brush, but it's very fluffy. It's not a flat top. It's pretty dense. It obviously has a lot of flexibility. You can really buff your foundation into your skin, make it look really natural and not just sitting on top of your skin. Take the lighter shade. So if you're mixing foundations, you want to put the lighter shade in the middle of your face. So that's like top of your cheek, in the middle of your forehead, nose, cupid's bow, and your chin. Get the darker shade and just put the rest. For a day, I would go in with a brush, but I also really love a beauty blender because it's such a lightweight foundation. I feel like a beauty blender would fully absorb a lot of it, whereas the brush would keep it on your face but blend it out pretty nicely as well. What I like to do is actually get the product all inside the bristles, damp it onto your skin, just distribute it. Undertone is just so perfect. I've never found a foundation that's so perfect for my skin color, and they have so many shades, so that's why I really recommend the foundation. If you just do this, you have a chance to irritate your skin so it goes red, or make your foundation look super streaky because of the bristles. Once you've worked it in, you can kind of use a little more pressure, bring it down your neck, your ears are exposed, lightly brush over the bit of your hairline. You don't get that foundation line, especially for those who fake tans and stuff like that. Your face is more paler than your actual neck, so if you want to, yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, it's not the highest coverage, evened out my complexion. It did what it needed to do. For those who are experiencing a bit of cakiness, go in with a beauty sponge. This is from Chi Chi, which I 100% recommend, and then you just want to press into your foundation so it absorbs. This will also pick up any excess product. I love for concealer, Rimmel London Lasting Finish Breathable Lightweight Medium Coverage Concealer in the shade 200 Light. Comes out with this weird tube. You can use a brush or your finger. You just want to stamp it just underneath your eye. You can bring it down to manipulate the shape of your face. So people like to do an upside down triangle all the way down to really lift up, bring your cheeks a bit forward. That just depends on your face shape, of course, and like what you prefer. Put it down your nose, also balance out the shade. I would get a sponge. 100% recommend a sponge over a brush for concealer. Blend really nicely and not be cakey. So a sponge will allow you to do that, also absorb any of that excess product. You shouldn't use force to do it because that will just muck up your foundation and everything. If you have discoloration on your eyelids, you can also bring that up here. As you can see, there's already so much more dimension on my face. If you wanted to have that look, you just go 2 shades lighter than your actual skin color. So I have this NYX Wonder Stick, which is a cream highlighter and a bronzer. I would go in the temples, so all you want to do is literally just draw a couple of lines. You can use your beauty blender, just like concealer, but for the shadows basically. You can also use a more denser brush or your foundation brush, it really does not matter, and just blend it out, pat it. A brush would keep more color, more coverage, whereas the beauty blender or sponge shears it out. For your cheekbone, you can feel your cheekbone. Where the edge of your cheekbone is, that's where you want to draw. That's literally where you want to go, like halfway where your eyebrow ends. Have the line, imagine it connecting to your outer lip. Always recommend a brush. You have more control to distribute the product. You can also just go back with the sponge, make sure there's no harsh lines. For cream highlight, the Revlon Photoready Skinlight Face Illuminizer. This is very natural but still gives you the most beautiful glows. You see, I just like put it on. I use it with a finger because you get more precision. That's the tip of your nose, the bridge of your nose, your cupid's bow, right at the top of your cheekbone. I like to bring it down here because when you look forward, you can see it right on the, the cherry of your cheek. My favorite powder, this is the Stay Matte from Rimmel. This is in #1 translucent. It's a very sheer powder, but it does what it needs to do. It sets the right places. It doesn't look overly matte. So you want to get a big fluffy brush. If you have a really creasy face, you want to blend out your under eye. You don't set any creases, so you want to blend it out so it's fresh and then straight away set. Just with patting motions. I like to be a little more heavier where the concealer was. The outside, just slightly smooth over your face. Just feel your face. If it's not sticky anymore, you're good to go. If it is, like mine, it's a little bit more sticky, but that's because everything's just settling in. Just leave it, especially if you're dry, just leave it. It will set itself 100%, but at the end when I finish my makeup, it won't be anymore because my face is already dry. You don't want to over powder. A drugstore option that you can get in the store is this Chi Chi brow pomade. I need to get a new one, so I'm just going to get my Coloupop pomade, which I really like. I love to do my brows with a pomade. I know it's not the most natural looking thing. You just want to be really, really light-handed with this if you don't want blocky brows. It definitely takes a lot of practice. Like, I don't think I've figured it out completely either. So what I do is get a really fine, small brush, dip it in the product, is get the cap. I don't know if everyone does this, and you kind of just like massage it basically inside the brush, inside the bristles. So the excess is now on the lid and you only thin layer of product on your brush so it's not clumpy. Get a spoolie, brush your hair up. This is how I do my makeup routine, and I'm explaining it in depth is what this is. What I like to do is, so you want light strokes. I just start right in here at the base, build it up at the front. You want to be really light and just follow through, flick up with your brush. At the tail, I follow from the top and then just flick, all with small strokes, and just keep going over until I'm happy with the capacity and the darkness. That's literally it. This is the Rimmel London, a little trio. It's a bronzer, blush and highlight. For beginners, having products like this is so good to just dive into, get a feel of what products you like and what you don't, so then you don't have to waste money on 3 individual products. I'm going to use the contour shade. I recommend is using a fluffy angled brush. What I like to do, I don't use it like this, I use it backwards. I'm not sure if that's just me. That's where it's going to hit. That's where you want the product. Get a bit of product. This is very pigmented. Again, you already have that contour line that we did before, so you just want to kind of follow that really, really lightly. Once the product is there, you just want to flatten it and just brush it out. Then I'll just go in normally and just tap on my what's this called? The temples, and just make sure it's blended really, really nicely. Your jawline as well, just like right underneath it. It's very self-explanatory. You can see that shadow. Another product I've been loving is this ModelsPrefer mineral powder in Soft Touch Radiant Bronze. Very natural, buildable. So what I like to get is a really fluffy brush and just like sweep it on the edges of my face. You can be super messy with this because that's what I do. Just overall make my face just so much more bronze and sunky. And I put it on the cheeks, I put it everywhere. I was not a blush person at all for years. A Makeup Revolution product. This is the blush palette and a highlight palette. Very good for beginners because you get a variety of blushes you can play with, and then you get some highlights. Blush brush. This is a BH Cosmetic brush. It's very fluffy, a nice size, especially for me who doesn't like full-on blush. I'd go for one of these shades. Tap it off. You start very high up. Really lightly just brush it, so when there's not that much product, bring it forward, and you obviously can just build it as much as you want. I recommend everyone try blush. More dimension, more color to your face. These are really natural highlighters. This is an AOA highlighting brush. It's a small dome fluffy brush. Dip it in here. So what I like to highlight is the tip of your nose. So if you don't want attention on your nose, don't do this. It's called the bridge of your nose, the cupid's bow. If you want like your lips to like pop out a little bit. You already have like liquid illuminizer from here. I like to bring it up here just to like connect it, lightly blend it into your skin so it's not just sitting there. It's not powdery at all in real life. You can really buff it in. I'm just going to use the highlight from this side to show you, but that's literally just how you do it, and you can bring it in really close here to your cheek. So this is a more pinkish undertone and that's more gold. See, right now my face is like completely set. The NYX Dewy Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray. You don't want to spray completely to your face, you want to move while you're spraying. So it creates like a mist falling onto your face. So that's like my base done. You can obviously put on lip balm, put some mascara on and call it a day. I'm going to prime my eyes. Priming will help with the longevity of eyeshadow, make it crease less, make the eyeshadow more pigmented. What I'm going to use is this Essence I Love Color Intensifying eyeshadow base. So you don't want to go overboard. Your finger can pat it in, and then you can finish off with the sponge, and this just makes sure like the excess is picked up. You want a really thin layer so everything doesn't look cakey. I have a lot of palettes from Revolution. These are definitely my favorite drugstore palettes, and then there's also Australis eyeshadow palettes which I love, and I'm just going to do a really simple look. I'd get this brown with a really fluffy brush and stamp it onto your eyelids. You can do this with a bronzer, you can do this with anything that's remotely brown. With a light hand, you just want to bring it up to your crease. My eyelids are legit cooked. My crease is literally like here, but when I open up, it's like a million miles north to where my actual fold is. It took me ages to figure out how makeup should work on my face, because I used to, when I did eyeshadow, I just stopped right here. Then just keep going up. I just keep going until there's barely any product on my brush left, and just keep blending. There's like a really nice transition that literally took me a couple seconds. Windshield wiper motions. Don't press too hard. You just want your brush to just lightly touch your eyeball. Then I'd get a smaller brush, same shade, and go underneath your eye. Just go really, really close. I really like to balance it out. As you can see, it just makes the biggest difference for me. I'm not too far down. NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil. This is in 611 Yogurt. These were so in a couple years ago, and now no one uses these. Draw on your eyeball. You can get a flat brush and just manipulate the product. Spread it all around. Light tapping motions. So it's just like a nice wash of color. There's products like this. This is the Australis eyeshadow, metallic eyeshadow, and this is in gold at Gaga. Something more pigmented. Depends how intense you want your look to be. Follow the same exact place, but for cream products, make sure you don't put too much, because then it starts to crease if you don't set it. I'm just showing you variety. I'm just gonna get the extra 3D lash from Rimmel. Wiggle it in between your lashes, and if you want, you can go over it a second time. It gets thicker and fuller every coat you do, but you don't want to do too much or else it looks clumpy. This is the Model's Own lip liner. This one twists. You literally just follow your line. Some lipsticks. I love lipsticks. Are so easy for beginners because you can't stuff it up. This is Nudelicious from Chi Chi. Everyone knows how to put lipstick, right? And another one that I love are these Katie Rimmel London lipsticks. You literally can just keep layering, especially if it's cream lipsticks. And for a gloss that I love is this NYX Butter Gloss. This is in Creme Brulee. Again, this was so in on YouTube, but now no one talks about it. Put it right in the center. Also, another hack you can do for your lipstick, put your finger in and do that to wipe away the inner layer so it doesn't go on your teeth. It's so easy, and that's the look. It's like soft glam. Okay, so you can stop there. I'm gonna try put on this lash. It's a very natural lash, and see the difference if you want to amp it up a little bit. Measure it to your eyes. Pretend you're putting it on and that's the start of it. Measure it to see where it ends. Trim it. Black lash glue. I definitely recommend a clear lash glue for beginners, because if you stuff up you won't be able to see it. Black, you definitely will be able to see it. Put the thinnest coat on the lash band. You want to wait for it to get a bit tacky because then it's easy to stick. Right now it's super wet, so then it'll just keep sliding around, it won't actually adhere. Just make sure you know your lash glue, because some lash glue dries in like a couple seconds, some minutes. I like to place it right on the edge and then follow through, and there you go, you have a lash. You can pinch your real lashes to your fake so you don't see a gap. As you can see, it just kind of like makes your lashes more thicker, puts more shape and frame around your eyes. I hope this video helped in any way, shape or form, even if it was just the product recommendation. Yeah, there's gonna be a part 2 of how I will do a full glam makeup tutorial drugstore. If you enjoyed this one, definitely keep a lookout for that one. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, I really appreciate it. I will see you in my next video.